You were born with a gift. The gift is who you are, meaning it's your authentic self. But you have a life, you mean you come into the world and have a physical life so that you can develop that gift. It never shows up right away. And it's never going to look like anyone else that you know because you have to become this authentic, unique person. But then at times you might become afraid of the light because the light is what you see when you keep taking the next step into who you can become. And that is your potential because potential is always this ladder that we're climbing. And we climb that ladder in our consciousness, meaning the way that we think. And we start doing it at a very young age. Sometimes we don't do it because we've been taught something else. Or sometimes we have become afraid for so long that we don't want to know who we are. Or sometimes the world changes so much that we get really afraid because things are so out of control and we want things to stay stable. And you could have been feeling that in the last several years. But looking at the world and you think, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. Why would it be like this? Why has my life been like this? Why does the world look like this? Why are people operating this way? Why are people acting that way? It's because they were waiting for you to bring the light. That's what we each have. And I'm calling it that because that's what I was given. And I can say that because I put out something earlier called I Am Not Wilhelm because I needed people to understand that. I received guidance. I received cosmic guidance, and that's how I've done all of this. We each develop something a little bit different. And then sometimes it's so surprising that you will shock yourself, as that's what happened for me. Because I discovered this organization in the universe that when you tap into it, you heal. You become yourself. You start to move in new directions. You're not afraid anymore. You're accomplishing something, and you know that your life has value. You know that you're doing something. And see, everyone can do that. That's the thing that I came to know, and that's what I was meant to bring to this world. I'm going to read you a message because I want you to understand. You may have heard this many times about synchronicity, and Carl Jung was the first one who talked about it so much, but when you live it, many people have, especially now. You're feeling things. Certain people are understanding what I'm talking about. But what I did and didn't know, and I'm being synchronized from years and years and years, had no clue that was occurring until recently when it was revealed to me. That's what happens to you as well. You get things become revealed to you about who you are and what you have. But you just have to do the work. We have ways of doing that because different people come in and tell us how to do it. We pick it up and then we do something new. But we have to be the ones that are going to do something new. And that's where we get stuck. I got stuck because this didn't make sense. But I know it makes sense for you because I do know that you have this valuable life purpose and plan and a reason for you to be on the earth. And the surprising thing for me was to discover that I knew that. And that's what held me back. Because I don't ever want to see anyone suffer. I want people to prosper and have everything they want. I also know that's not realistic. But I'm going to read you this message because this is what I want you to have today, because I don't want you to be afraid of the light anymore, because that's how powerful you are. You have something that you can do, and moving through the world, especially in the next little bit of time, you want to own who you are. You want to know the light that exists within you. And this message will help you. As you'll see, the message is 5 years ago. You are afraid of the light. We brought Roger to this quote from Plato this morning, and we will explain why. The full quote is, "You can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. But the real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light." We were going to begin with the premise that there were no coincidences or accidental events that occur in your life. If you do not know this or come to believe it, you become a victim in your life rather than a victor. We can be poetic at times. Here is the story. Yesterday, Roger met with his friends that we mentioned he hadn't seen in years. Because of this, they wanted to know about his life's journey. Roger joked and said, "I will give you the Cliff Notes, or a consolidated version." As he did so, even he couldn't believe all the experiences of every shape, manner, or form. When he returned home, he needed to finish a biography of sorts for the group with which he is working. At first, he sent his work and career history, and then they asked for his accomplishments. Now, these two experiences strung together caused him to recognize that he had been afraid of the light. Roger said, "I couldn't have had this life unless I was meant to do something with it, unless it was meant to something meaningful." Then last night, a friend asked for an energy healing session as they were in excruciating pain. Roger knew he could accomplish this, but had been afraid to practice it more. He did it brilliantly. Roger discovered there everything we have given him, which could aid so many others if he would stop being afraid of the light. That last sentence is meant for all of you without exception. Oh, we almost forgot. It is not accidental that he and you are receiving this message on this day. Figure it out. Wilhelm. It took me a while to figure it out because I didn't know. I looked at that and I thought, what does that mean? Why are they saying that? And then I saw, oh, it's because it was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, the day he was born. I thought, oh, there was an energy flow there of what we were supposed to come away with, what I was meant to come away with. Oh, certain people stand for things that come about in times of great change in our world, and that's what's happening now. We're moving through a move which Wilhelm has called a restructuring, and what they're saying, that restructuring is energetic, meaning what you're going to do with your life is going to affect the rest of the world. But we all have things within us that we're attempting to move through. That's your journey, your self-actualization, or your ascension journey, moving to the higher state of consciousness or understanding, which is the light. But the society or our civilization does the same thing. But it just depends on how many people will do that, you see. And sometimes we hide out, which is what I had done, but I hid because I had to understand what was happening. I'm saying this because I'm talking to a whole bunch of people in the next week or so that I've worked with in different capacities who did not know that I had this, that I had this information, that I had this work. And I looked at it and I thought, and that message like really brought it back home. Because see, I've been through everything. I know what you might be experiencing in terms of your fear. I know the difficulties that you have encountered. I know the doubt that you have about who you could become. I know all those things. And I've been writing for 36 years and receiving it all. But still, coming to accept that was really surprising. And then what happened was there was an organization with all the information I received, and it turned into a philosophy. And I'm thinking, how could that have happened? Well, see, there were things that we haven't done into all of the philosophies that Wilhelm said they would give to me. And that way we would uplift humanity and people would have better lives going forward. Not tomorrow, but in the future, because we are the ones who are creating the future. But to do that, we have to let go of the old stuff. That's all of our individual and collective anger, hatred, judgment, all those things. And then what happens is you heal. See, this was the beautiful thing. I've been through every physical illness, disease, crap forever. I'm 74. It's all gone because this work aligned me. And I didn't know that was happening. I'm being completely honest because I didn't understand why people years ago were telling me when they were meeting with me, Roger, you should be selling this for like $5,000. You should be doing so much more with it. It was never my intention, first of all, to even cause this to be a program or work or anything. It was for me because it was doing all of that. And I'll tell you, I'm going to, I'm just saying this now because I want you to have this and the message I'm going to send out tomorrow. I just want you to understand what I'm doing. I'm going to be putting together so much more. In my work in the program, you have to go through things in your consciousness. No one else is doing it to you. But what has happened is that Wilhelm gave me ideas, ways, processes, exercise, however you want to think of it. But what it does, it changes your mind. And you understand how brilliant you are. And then you heal because you become aligned with who you are. The interesting thing was when I started analyzing groups of messages, and you'll find those on the YouTube channel, they had a theme to them. And artificial intelligence has helped me so much because now I can understand it. Because there's an organization and you have a divine plan, you have a place that's in there, it all works. Those were all the things that were so challenging for me to accept. But every day I will get up now and I can go back to old messages and I find an alignment. I can go back and put all, not every day, but many days, because energy is information. We exist in human form as consciousness. That leaves, our bodies leave, but the consciousness is here. So we're the ones forming it by what we do now in our lives and also in the world. So when they said now, revealed to me that I had something that could change the world, it could heal the world. And I said that couldn't possibly happen. And then I saw that it could, because it healed me. And if that could happen, then anyone could be healed. And then that way, the world would follow suit. That's just the way that it works. Everyone's not going to believe that because I didn't believe it until it happened. And so now I'm going to work with those people who really want to believe, because I know what you can accomplish and I know what we all can accomplish. And it was just surprising to find it. I'm being completely honest because I didn't know and you don't know either. But now it's going to be really fun because we've moved into a new portal. We've moved into a new energetic phase in our world, and that means in your life. So things have opened up in a brand new way that we can now start to embrace who we are and create a much better world. But more importantly for you, it's about you creating the life that you want to have. You deserve to have this extraordinary life, and that's why Wilhelm kept giving me that line. You were born to do something extraordinary. That's every single person. We just haven't figured it out because we get programmed and hadn't found the right way to undo that. I created the way to undo it. That's what all this work is. And I'm grateful that it has happened. I just want to say this. My life was challenging. I've gone through so much, and to know that it turned out to be that I can give all of this to people who are going to do something with it and make a great world. Yeah, I can never have everyone believe that, but I do know that it's true. And if you talk to anyone who has used Wilhelm's work, you will understand it. And that came through in the channeling session yesterday, where someone was saying, where's the rest of the work? And so that's what I'm getting on to now, because I know that anyone who does this will have the life of their dreams. And I can say all those things that people say that doesn't make sense, and that's okay, because I know that it does. And there's so many people who are with me now who are doing this work that know it does make sense. It's just a process we all move through. You have to decide that you want to love yourself and do all the things that you were meant to do in this world because it was given to you. Please subscribe to the channel if it's your first time here, and share it with others. Check out all the work. See you soon.